One thing I am going to do before we decorate actually is, or add the pages, is do the pocket for the back page. So I need a piece of cardstock that is 9 3/4 by 5. So let's do 9 3/4 by 5. And you should know by now how we're going to score this. So, scoreboard's out, and 1/2 inch on 3 sides. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. And then tape, and then fold and burnish after you put your tape on. Then we can add the pages. Oops. Okay. So, fold, 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 and oops, snip, 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 and snip. And there. Okie dokie. Whoops. Okay, so this is gonna go on the edge. So on my prototype I did it facing inwards, but I don't know if I liked that with the stuff going that way. So you could do it with a pocket that side, and that'd probably be easier to put things in. So I'm probably going to do that this time, and then I can compare the two. So let's get the tape off. Ooh. There's my pen. Okay, sides in, bottom up. Okay, so when you place your pocket down, you need to make sure you don't go too close to the fold line. So I would leave a good 1/4 inch away from that fold line, because when this closes up, if it's too close, it's not going to close neatly. So just measure how. So this is flush with the top and bottom of the album. So if I come this way, you might be able to see. So there's my score line, my fold line. So I'm leaving a good 1/4 inch. So you can see there's the fold line, and we've got plenty of room on the edge there. Okay. Give that a good burnish. There, so you've got a side pocket on the back. So next we can add our pages. So I've got my 3 pages there. So this I am going to measure, because you want to make sure this is equal. So you're going to start with the middle of the 3 pages. It doesn't matter what order you do them in, but I like this order. So the middle page needs to obviously go in the middle of your spine piece. So to get this in the right spot, we're going to measure where the middle of your spine piece is. So 2.5 inches, so half of that is 1.25. So I'm just going to put a dot, oops, at 1.25. So that's the exact middle, and the flap is 1/2 inch, so I need to do, well, hang on, if I draw the 1/2 oh, that's not right at all. What have I done? So 1.25, where have I measured? No, that's why. I've done 1.5, so sorry, mumbling to myself. 1.25, 1.25. So draw a faint pencil line at 1.25 just so you can see where you're going. So you can see I've got a very faint pencil line. That's the exact middle. So the middle of this flap needs to be over that line. So using a ruler that's got these lines going vertically will help. So I'm going to mark at, so my pencil line is at the 1/4 inch there, and then I can measure. So if you don't have a ruler like this, you're going to need to do your line at 1.5. So either way, it's fine. So 1.5. So you can see I've got my middle there, and then 1/4 inch from the middle is there. So then my 1/2 inch flap will sit across there. So it's just to get your middle exactly in the middle. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Possibly not. So this piece is going to get stuck down up to my second score line. So at the 1.5. What did I say? The 1.5. Okay. So take your tape backing off, and make sure there's no tape overlapping. Okay, make sure it's the right way up. So that opens, whoops, up, yep. And then you're gonna line up with your pencil line and try and get it roughly even top and bottom. It doesn't matter too much. I'm trying to see which way you can see best. There we go. So I'm just lining it up with my pencil line, even-ish top and bottom, and press that down, and then give it a really good burnish. Thank you, Mama. Hey, Mummy's brought me coffee. Cool. Okay. So that's the middle page. So then your back page, you're just going to butt up to that flap. So take your tape off, and then butt right up to the flap that you can see. Oops. Like so. And press. Press, press, press. Okay. And give that another press, and then the front page you're going to butt up to that side. Hold it this way. So once you've got the first one in place, the rest of them are pretty easy because you're just butting it up like so. And And that's how to attach the pages. So I give it a really, really good burnish now, because you do not want your pages falling out. So give it a good burnish, and as much as you can from that side. So burnish, burnish, burnish. Really, really well. And the last one there. And that is how we attach the pages. So there we go, our pages are in our book. Oops, there we go. Okay, so front page, then this opens up, and that opens out. Second page, it will flip up and close, and you've got your double pocket there. Turn the page over, and you've got your double flap, and then this opens out to a nice double spread. And then this last one is the one with the belly band and secret pocket. And then turn that over, pocket there, and triple page spread. There we go. And ta-da! Our pages are in our album. So that's how it looks looking down. So it's nice and neat. Okie dokie. So the next thing that I did, which I haven't actually done on an album before, is decorate in between these spine pieces, and it actually looked really, really nice. So I'm going to do that again, and I want the paper that, so for this paper pack, there's paper that's got text on it, and that's the paper that I want. So let me just get a fresh one. Oh, some of the others are long enough. Okay. So what I did was I cut the strips, and then I actually wrapped it all the way around to the outside, and I liked it, but I didn't get it very neat on the last one, so I'm going to try it again and see if I can get it neater. I'm not sure if I will. We'll see. So for this piece, so the ones in the middle, they just need to be 1/2 inch, that's fine. But you do want to just double check. A 1/2 inch is fine for there, but this back one, we need 1 inch. So you need half, 1 inch. So that's what did I say? half. So 3 inches. Wow. That's right, isn't it? 1/2 and 1/2. No, 1/2 and 2.5 inches. That's what we need, because the spine's 2.5 inches, Hannah. Oh gosh. So this is the paper that I'm on about with the text on it. So 2.5 inches is all we need. So I'm going to cut the 2.5 inches off. Then, or should I do it the other? Because when I did it before, I cut the strips and then added the tape, and that was a pain in the butt. So yeah, I'm going to do it this way. So 2.5, and then you can add tape to the back side, trim it down, and that will hopefully be easier to do. So let's go top and bottom, and hopefully I can get it neater than I did in my prototype. So I did really like the look of it, but it just wasn't very neat. So we shall try again. And this is where, if you had the adhesive sheets, it would make it a lot easier as well, because you just have one sheet of sticky. but hey, this will do just as well. And I'm just making sure I was filming then. Oh. Okay. So that's all done. Burnishing it really, really, really well. Okay, I'm going to bring in the Stampin' Up trimmer. Oops, because it has those small measurements. So I want my writing to be this way, so I need 1 inch, then half, half, half. So let's cut that down 1 inch off first. So that's your first inch, then half an inch, and then half an inch. That's interesting. Okay. So if it doesn't cut through the tape backing, because it's a little sticky, just grab your scissors and cut through. Because the tape backing is kind of like a waxy paper, so I should have just run it over again, but never mind. There. So hopefully this will work. So you're going to have one there, so one will go there, then the next one in there, and the next one in there, and then the last one, which for some reason is not a half an inch, will be there. Okay, so I think I'll start with the back. You see what happened on my prototype, so when I wrapped it round I didn't meet them up quite as nicely and it just didn't look that great, but we shall see how it goes. So take, the tape backing off, and bump it up to your fold line, make sure there's no overhang of tape, and try and get it even top and bottom. Not that it matters a great deal because it will be covered as well. So press that down and then wrap it around. So I'm training it round first, then I can close it and pull it over nice and tightly. There. Okay. Now, next one. Okay, which was the next piece? Oh, I've mixed them up. I know it doesn't matter, but it does matter. There we go. Yeah. We've got to be in the right order. Okay. Take the backing off. Make sure there's no overhang. Okay. So I'm just going right in the middle of the two pieces. Oh, I wonder if actually I can line it up perfectly. Maybe not, never mind. So pressing that down into the space, then start to wrap it around, and you want to look to make sure there isn't too big of a gap in between the two pieces before you really press it down. So you can slightly budge it over if you need to, and then start to wrap it, and then again close it, and now you can pull it down and make sure that it's bumped right up next to each other, like so. And the same this side, bump it up as best you can. Oh, see, I got it wobbly. Oh, never mind. And then can press down nicely. Okay, next one. So tape off. And come on. It doesn't want to come off. There. I've got a little tiny little strip here, my goodness. Oh, there we go. Okay. Make sure there's no overhang. So when I'm saying make sure there's no overhang, I'm just rubbing my fingers on the side, so if there is any, it'll just slightly fold back onto itself that way. So now let's get this one on. So into that gap, again press it down, make sure you pull it over as much as possible so it meets up with that piece before you press it down, and again pull it over and then start to work it around, close it, and then you can really bump it up like so. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly bumped up, but as best as you can will look good. Okay, and then the last bit, whoops. See, this is there. It's gonna be, I feel like I need a bigger strip because it's not going to be even. I mean, it only needs to be a tiny bit bigger, and I am that fussy, so I'm going to cut another strip. So I want it to be just over half an inch, like a hair over, because this has gone right up to the fold line, whereas if I put that, there's going to be a good gap and it won't look as neat on the outside. So let's just cut another strip. So I want just a hair over 1/2 inch. And that should look better, I think. Yeah, that will look much better. Okay, let's just get some tape on that. So even if I give you measurements, particularly when it's decorating, just double check your album, because sometimes like your cutting might be a little bit off, or your trimmer might be like a little bit different to mine. So just double check that it looks right on your album. So it near enough always will do, but just to be on the safe side. Then we can add this strip. And butt it right up. And then just make sure it's up as close as possible. And then start to work it around. Close your album and pull. I'm just pulling it so it is butted up as best as I can. And then give the whole lot of burnish. You can't press it too hard when it's that way, obviously, but burnish along the top. And on each of those strips. So it kind of looks like it's all one piece, and it also hides the hinges. There we go. Cool. So next, to decorate the inside covers and the outside.